Welcome back to Warfare News. This week, the January battle range changes are finally rolling out, and there are quite some spicy ones that people are not so excited about. Now, currently, these are only the proposed ones. In the finalized version, they should be a bit more expansive and fill all the gaps. Sometimes they leave out certain variants. There's also a possibility that some of these they'll go back on and not actually change, but honestly, I feel that's quite slim. So the way I normally do this is I'm going to first start with the United States and then go down the nation list and start with tanks. So, for the United States, they only had one tank change its battle range. For ballistic battles was the T-20 going from 5.7 to 6.0. While the T-20 is definitely a fantastic tank, I don't know if it necessarily needs to be 6.0. For US planes, started with the F-2G1 going from both realistic and arcade from 6.7 to 6.3. The A-2D1 only for arcades going from 7.7 to 8.0, which is quite high for a propeller-driven aircraft, though it is a turboprop. Both the B-57A and B are going in realistic from 8.0 to 8.3, which is interesting is the British version of these, which I'm pretty sure are almost the same, are not having the same battle rate changes, though they are changing, so we'll get to them when we get to the British. The F-84Fs, all of them, across every nation, are going from 8.7 to 8.3, which I've heard many people say it does need a reduction in its battle range change, so perhaps that is a good one among all these ones. F-3H2 is going from 9.3 to 9.7 in realistic battles, while the A4E early is going in arcade from 9.3 to 9.0, while the A7D also in arcade is going from 9.3 to 9.7. And the spicy one for the aircraft, one that has everyone talking, actually a few of these already have people talking, but this one primarily more, is the F4C in realistic is going from 10.7 to 10.3, which I don't think I need to explain why that probably shouldn't happen. Yes, its flight performance is not as great as the F4E. It does still have some pretty good flight performance, as well as 4 AIM-9Js and 4 Sparrows. And one boat was changed for the United States, the PGH-2 was changed across the board from 3.3 to 3.0. For Germany, they had a few tanks changed, starting with the Stuer Emil being changed across the board from 5.0 to 4.3, and has also been grouped together with the Dicker Max. Another Panther has gone down in battle rating, the Panther F this time from 6.0 to 5.7 across the board, which has a lot of people talking because the Panther G is not going down, it's still going to be 6.0. In fact, the F is switching places with the G. It doesn't really make much sense when you think about the two vehicle stats. The F has stronger face armor, a faster reload, and besides that is the same tank, while the G on the other hand has a bit of a smaller gun mantlet, the weaker armor. However, the amount of flat surface on the armor between the F and the G, I would say that the G has a bit more. However, if you think about it the way Gaijin does with player statistics, it makes a bit more sense. Currently, there are no other 6.0 vehicles in the German tree besides the Panthers, so to make a proper lineup with the Panthers, you'd have to either up tier the other vehicles or up tier the Panther itself. And because the Panther is rank 4 and also right before the Leopard, it's very likely the vehicle is up tiered to 6.7 or 6.3 at the least. It's also very likely that the Panther F is the one that is taken out more, as it is the last one before the Leopard. Therefore, people grind out all the Panthers with their Tiger II, they throw the Panther F in their lineup while they're grinding the next rank of vehicles, while completely disregarding the G. That's what I did. So because of this situation where the Panther F is taken out more so, and at higher battle ratings, it's going to look like it dies a whole lot more than the G. However, it most likely is only because of the situation it's put into, not the actual performance of the vehicle, which is why you wouldn't want to blindly follow player statistics when balancing vehicles. And I really hope that Gaijin does not blindly follow player statistics, and they do put a bit of logic into the changes. However, some of the other ones that we're about to read would make you reconsider that. Next one down the line for the Germans, the JPZ-45 is going down across the board from 6.7 to 6.3, and the M48A2C in realistic battles is going down from 7.0 to 6.7. Now, before you say, well, this is dumb because the US one is still 7.3, why is this one going down to 6.7? You have to take into consideration the US M48 and the German M48 do have their differences. The German M48 is actually better than the US one. It has slightly more engine power. So why is it going down in battle rating, you're probably asking. I'm asking too. I don't know. What are you thinking, Gaijin? Why would you bring it down? Are you purely going off player statistics to the point where people who are bad in a tank are making a tank that is actually better than other tanks, even in the same tree, have a lower battle rating? This tank, if you stack up the armor values and the engine performance, is better than the M47 that is a premium currently in the German tree. Yeah, this one's gonna have a lower battle rating for what reason? Only possible one I could think of is because German players are bad. The people who commonly play Germany also happen to commonly be the worst people in the game. And because of this, they need vehicles that that are the same, actually better than ones in other trees at a lower battle rating. Otherwise, they will lose too much. That's what you're telling me with the way that you balance this game. Balance, that's hardly the word to use in this situation. I'm not gonna rant too much about this because then the video would be far too long. So let's get on to the German planes, starting with the Ju-288C going up across the board from 5.7 to 6.0, and the AR-234C3 in arcade going from 7.0 to 7.3. For the USSR, their tanks start out with a pretty smart one. The Su-100Y is going down from 5.0 to 4.7, which the tank has never really performed that well. This is more of a meme, so lowering its battle rate is fine. It does yeet things with that big ol' 130mm cannon, but doesn't do much besides that. The same thing is happening to the KV-85, going down from 5.0 to 4.7 in realistic. The KV-122 is also going down from 5.7 to 5.3 in realistic, while the ISU-122s are going down from 5.7 to 5.3 across the board. Though before we get on to Russian planes, Gaijin first decided to drink some stupid juice. The T-34-100 is going down across the board from 7.0 to 6.7, which is the same battle rating as the T-34-100. Yet the T-44-100 is 100% better than the T-34, and now they'll share the same battle rating. T-44-100 isn't even a bad tank. It does quite well, so I'm not really sure why it's going down in battle rating. But guys, don't worry, the dumb doesn't end there. Object 120 across the board going down from 7.7 to 7.3. What? Excuse me, what? Does the 6.3 need to face 400mm of penetration? Is that what you're telling me, Gaijin? You know, when I need a proper lineup for my IS-7, I take the Object 120. For an 8.3 lineup, when I need a tank destroyer, I don't have the IT-1, so I take the Object 120, and it does just as well. The final Russian tank change is the T-80B being changed in realistic from 10.0 to 9.7. This one is rather debatable on whether it's a good thing or not. I don't have it, so I can't really chime in, but I've heard people say that it should be changed, and the other people saying it should not be changed. For Russian planes, the SB-2M-103 VM3 in realistic is being from 2.3 to 2.0. I don't even know what plane that is. The I-301 is being changed in arcade from 3.3 to 3.7. The BI is being changed in also arcade from 6.7 to 6.3. The Yak-23 is being changed from 8.0 to 8.3. A while since that thing has gone up in battle rating. Or when it first came out, it was hella OP. The MiG-19 PT as well as the S and the J6A are all going down in realistic from 10.0 to 9.7, which has also been debatable on whether this is a good thing or not, as while these planes definitely don't perform well at top tier against Phantoms and the like, they do perform quite well against other vehicles, but they're not going to be alone at 9.7. Also, the MiG-21 PFM as well as the J72 have also been down tiered, but this time across the board from 10.0 to 9.7. So should these jets be down tiered to 9.7? They definitely don't perform well against Phantoms. However, I propose instead of bringing these ones down, they actually just bring the Phantoms up and make a 11.0 bracket, or maybe even an 11.7 bracket. But that's not going to happen because McQToms, though I wonder if Gaijin had ever considered perhaps the compressed battle range is partly why there is long QToms. It drives people away. For the British, they had one tank change in realistic battle, then Centurion Mark 1 is going up from 5.7 to 6.0. I don't think it needs to, and I think Gaijin is too eager to move something up if it's doing well, instead of just let the British have a good tank. Now, I don't really take out the Centurion Mark 1 all that much, so I can't really chime in a whole lot on it. However, the bit that I have planned on it does pretty well, and you know, has some pretty good armor, but I don't think it's necessarily 6.0 worthy. For the planes, the Viewfighter Mark 21 is being moved down in arcade from 4.3 to 4.0. The Mosquito FE Mark 18 is being moved down in arcade from 3.7 to 3.3. The Brigand B1 is being moved down also in arcade from 5.0 to 4.7. The Hornet Mark 1 as well as Mark 3 are both being moved down in arcade from 5.7 to 5.3. The Cranberry B Mark 2 is being moved down both in arcade and realistic from 8.0 to 8.3. Cranberry B Mark 6 is being moved up as well from 8.0 to 8.3, but only in realistic. And the final British air change kind of marks exactly how well organized Gaijin is when it comes to battle rating changes, and makes me question if any of these are good decisions or really really based on anything, the Buccaneer S.2 being moved up in arcade from 9.3 to 9.7. The Buccaneer S.2 has already been moved from 9.3 to 9.7 in arcade. You would think that Gaijin, I assume multi-billion-dollar company, would be able to pay attention to what battle rating vehicles are, at least more so than the people who play the game. Although perhaps it's a possibility that they don't play their own game. But even if that was the case, you would hope that the statistics would note that the vehicle is already a different battle rating. It makes me question a whole lot on how this game is run. Why are you suggesting to change a vehicle that's already changed? Where did the error come from? Where you forgot that happened? Anyways, for British boats, the Referral D and C are both planned to move down from 2.7 to 2.3 across the board, while the Referral D697 is being moved down from 3.3 to 3.0. For Japan, the Hori prototype is being moved in realistic from 6.0 to 6.3, while the Type 75 has been moved across the board from the 6.7 to 6.3, and it will now be located before the Hori. For the planes, the Key 21 High is being moved in arcade from 2.0 to 2.3 and realistic from 1.7 to 2.0. The P1Y1 Mod 11, as well as the Chinese one in realistic, are being moved from 4.0 to 3.7. And for their ships, the Yodachi is being moved from 4.0 to 4.3. For China, only planes had battle ratings changed. The Key 44-3 Co is being moved in arcade from 2.0 to 2.3. The Q5A is being moved down in realistic from 10.0 to 9.7, and only in arcade are the F104A and G being moved down from 10.0 to 10.3. Now I do know that the Chinese G is different than the German G, though I'm pretty sure the Chinese A is the same as the United States A, but the US A is not being moved down. More big brain for Gaijin, I guess. For Italy, there's only two planes that had their battle rating changed, both in arcade. The P108A is being moved down from 3.0 to 2.7, and the G55-1S is being moved down from 4.7 to 5.0. For France, the EBR 1954 is being moved up across the board from 4.7 to 5.0. Surprising they remember that this thing went up from 4.3 to 4.7 already. Although on this change, while a lot of people are very much asking for the EBR to be up tiered, I don't think it needs it. And why I say that is because it is a very rare French event vehicle that is good because it is fast. The gun is actually the same as many other guns at 4.7. In fact, there is a Sherman that is a premium that you can currently purchase that has the exact same gun, and there's another Sherman in the main tech tree that actually has more penetration than this one. The only thing the EBR has above those is its speed that is only usable on roads mainly. You can get some pretty high speeds on rough terrain, however, in snow or mud you are actually slower than those Shermans, which makes it as whole set of maps you're kind of useless. Obviously that should be fixed, however Gaijin doesn't understand how cars work. But I'm gonna argue the point that it should stay where it is at 4.7 because of a very simple reason, is that there are plenty of other vehicles that perform similar to the EBR in other trees that people don't complain about and don't demand should be up tier to 7.7. As I pointed out, the only thing that this tank has going for it is its speed, as the gun is currently on other tanks of the same battle rating, so obviously it's not that. And definitely a vehicle's speed should affect its battle rating. However, I feel that there is a bias in people's opinions against this vehicle, mainly because it is a new vehicle that is performing well. When we take into consideration vehicles that have similar performance in different tech trees, you don't find many people complaining. Mainly what I'm pointing towards is the Pack Puma, which currently is a rare German event vehicle that you can't actually buy on the marketplace, but for I think it was around 100 or so Gaijin coins. But primarily what the Pack Puma is, it is a Panther's gun on a very fast chassis and put at the battle rating 3.0. The gun with 150 millimeters of penetration definitely overperforms when compared to other guns at that battle rating, and is also much faster than most enemy vehicles that you're going to face at that battle rating. Thanks to its light armor and thanks to the hull break changes, it's a bit harder to kill than most other tanks you would see. Sound familiar? Well, it should, because this vehicle relies on the same playstyle as the EBR. The only difference is that this has an open top, so planes have an easier time killing you. Not that planes have a hard time killing EBRs, and has less penetration, though it does have APHE. It's also lacking a turret. In general, is definitely worse than the EBR. I'm not trying to argue that they're equal or anything. This one should definitely have a lower battle rating, but if you want want the EBR to be up-tiered, why aren't you asking for this thing to also be up-tiered? Well, there are a few possibilities on why I could think someone would be asking that. The people currently complain about the EBR. There is a probability that a large portion of them play German as their main tech tree, and therefore they never actually have to face the Pack Puma. It's only ever on their side. And also that the Pack Puma is much older than the EBR, so the large amount of people who got them through the various events in which you could are most likely not use it anymore because, well, they had their fun with it, or quit the game because of dumb decisions Gaijin's made. From the way I see it, the EBR should just be a tank that is good that the French have. Let another nation besides Germany have a good tank. I swear, every time another nation gets a popular, well-known, good tank, Gaijin decides to up-tier it. Give it a month or two, the EBR spam is going to die down regardless if you up-tiered or down-tiered the thing. People eventually get bored of other vehicles, especially if they are only playing it because they got it in an event and don't actually grind out the French tree. Anyways, onto French planes, starting with the Hawk H75A2 was moved up across the board from 2.3 to 2.7, while the MB152C1 in arcade was moved up from 2.7 to 3.0, and the three variants of the Valtor have been all moved in arcade from 9.3 to 9.7. Finally, for Sweden, they only had 3 planes to move, being the J21A1, A2, as well as the A21A3. In arcade, they all had the battle range changed the same from 4.0 to 4.3. However, the A1 in realistic was moved up from 3.3 to 3.7, while the other 2 were moved up from 3.7 to 4.0. While these planes are a bit awkward to fly, they can perform quite well, so perhaps they are needing these up tiers a bit. And that is all the proposed battle range changes. I should have gotten this out soon enough to the point where you can go onto the forums and complain about them to Gaijin, and hopefully they will listen to you. Before I end this video, first I want to give a big thank you to my YouTube members, patrons, as well as Twitch subs. Thanks to your generous donations, I am able to purchase Ultra Milk. I also want to give a shout out to my friend PG Noob, who has a YouTube channel, Pointless Gun Sinks, in which he makes some pretty nice gun sinks. Be sure to go over there and say hi. But anyways, if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, be sure to hit me up there or on my Discord. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I make more than regular news videos every Friday. I like to make reviews throughout the week, so be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything at all. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. In the terms of bonus news, we all know that another season of World War Mode is coming up, but a Hungarian website known as wtinfo.hu is claiming to know some details about the upcoming season. Apparently, naval is going to play a larger role than in prior seasons, and it will also involve some beach landings, as well as opportunities to take out premium vehicles that you don't currently own. Now, apparently the website is supposed to reveal some further information involving exactly what vehicles you will be taking control of, though they have not released that yet, so I'm really hoping they do so, and when they do, I'll do a more detailed video on this subject, but it's quite interesting. There should be a link in the description below if you wish to check out the website yourself, but remember, it's all in Hungarian.